My ring light is so messed up. It's so annoying having to like adjust it every time. Okay, anyways, welcome back to my channel. Bro, I want to like do intros like a normal like YouTube person, but I just can't do it. Ugh. But yeah, okay, so I literally tried to redo this video like 5 times. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, literally 5 times. Like, I literally made an entire video like an hour long, but it was just so messy. Like, my thoughts were all over the place, and like, I don't know if I don't know. First of all, I wanted to show you guys, I got like these like Christmas sheets. This like Christmas sheet set, and it's really cute, and it was like $30 on Amazon. Just that I don't have a lot of sheet sets. I have like 2, and they're like 30 right now. So I got these, even though I hate Christmas. I cut my hair because it was just awful, and I took out my extensions because I'm getting a wig for my birthday. So I can't, can't really have the extensions in. It'll just like be too much stuff on my head at the same time. Okay, so originally I was gonna do this video and like give like tips and tricks on how to cut back on drinking or like quit drinking. But I decided I'm just gonna like tell how I went about it, like say how I went about it and what worked for me, because I actually don't have like a lot of tips and tricks, and like everyone's different, so I'm just gonna like tell like my little like story or whatever. First things first, I just want to get one thing straight. I am not sober. I think a lot of people think that I'm sober and that I like completely quit drinking altogether. I didn't. I just came to a point where I was able to get it under control. I know that like for a lot of people this isn't gonna be something that's like what's the word? I'll just say doable. This isn't gonna be something that's doable for them. Like, some people just need to like absolutely like cut it out completely. But yeah, so I'm just gonna do like a little background on like how I got into drinking, whatever, and how like it's been, how long it's been, whatever. So basically, I think like this is like pretty obvious by now because I've said it a lot in like my YouTube videos, but I started drinking, like I started heavily getting into drinking from the moment I found out that my mom had cancer. Well, that I found out she had terminal cancer. So basically like right after that, I would just be getting bottles like all the time. I'd be drunk all the time because it was in the summertime, so I wasn't in school or anything because we were out on break. And I just started partying like every day, like getting blackout drunk, and like every time I would get blackout drunk, it was just a mess. Like, literally just a huge mess. Prior to that, I had never been like a promiscuous person. I had only had a sexual encounter with somebody once ever, and after like I started drinking and everything, that's like when my promiscuity started. I don't know if that's how you say it. Like, I would literally just like do things that I wouldn't normally do. Like, me when I was drinking was not the me when I started drinking was not the me that I was before. Me when I was under the influence was not the real me. You know that saying where people are like, oh, drunk words or sober thoughts? I don't think that applies to you when you're an alcoholic. If you're an alcoholic, you know no, that's really not the case. And I really need to stop saying a lot. But basically, so me and my flight, I was like living with a friend at the time that this happened, I think. But we would just drink every night, and then I was kind of like an emotionless zombie, I would say, throughout like my teen years. I literally feel like I was just a complete zombie back then. Like, before I even started drinking, that's just how I was. Like, you would never catch me crying. You would never catch me talking about emotions. I literally thought it was like, ew, like, don't get all mushy. That was how I was. So when I did start to drink, those emotions that I guess were in the back of my head would just surface while I was drinking. In the beginning of it, whenever I got drunk, I would literally just end up bawling my eyes out, end up like SH. And this started when I was 17, and it was like July, I want to say, and my birthday's in December, so 17. And then after my mom passed, I just started getting heavier and heavier into it because it just made me feel good. Like, I don't know. And when I was first starting drinking, like in these early years, I wasn't experiencing a hangover and everything. You know, like when you're young and like you're drinking and stuff, you don't really experience hangovers like you do when you get older. And you'll only know that when you do get older and try to drink. But so I wasn't experiencing any type of hangovers and stuff. I was able to drink day by day by day. Like, I would literally go to school drunk. I would, once I did start drinking, I couldn't stop. So, like, I could be drunk as hell, but if there's alcohol around, like, I'm gonna need more and more. Like, if there's not more, I would have ordered more. And then I turned 18, and I think it was when I turned 18 that I started to get really, really promiscuous. I don't even think I'm saying the word promiscuous girl. Okay, promiscuous, whatever. That's when I started to really start getting like that, and I was literally at a point in my life where I would literally hook up with men in exchange for alcohol. Or if I was like going to hang out with a man, like if I was linking up with someone, if I was going anywhere, if I was like about to do anything, I had to be drunk for it. Like, I definitely used it as a social crutch for sure. And I've said this in a video before, but I'm gonna say it again because I don't think anyone took me serious. But this is literally like, you know how in The Big Bang Theory where there's that guy that can only talk to women when he's under the influence? That was me with men. So I could not hang out with a man without being drunk. And like if we were hanging out, he had to bring a bottle. Then it got so bad to the point where I would drink, pass out drunk, get up in the morning, or whenever I got up, whenever I woke up, order another bottle, get drunk again. And that was like on repeat for, I want to say, almost a year solid. Then as I continued like going on drinking, it just like I started to experience like worse hangovers and stuff. So to the point where after I was done drinking, I would be shaking, like my hands would be like, you know, I would literally projectile vomit, like literally shooting out of me type of vomit. I would literally have everything out of my system, and I would continue to vomit and vomit. Literally it would just be stomach acid at a point. And like it was literally so bad to the point where like every time my friends would witness it, they would literally be so concerned. Like they'd be like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Like, I'm scared, like, you know. That was how like my hangovers and stuff went. Not only that, I started to experience a lot of anxiety after drinking, which I didn't really know was a thing, but it's a thing. Sometimes I would stay up and drink for like days on end, not sleep, and then when I finally like sobered up, it would all like hit me that I was drinking so long and I wasn't sleeping. And I would literally like, it would all hit me like, I would literally feel high and like start to hallucinate and stuff. There were a lot of times when I would drink, like when I would do that stuff like that, or like even if I drank like 2 nights in a row, I would literally just like start to hallucinate. The first time it ever happened to me was really, really, really scary. I remember just like being on my couch and like I saw like things that weren't there. And every time I went to sleep, I would have like obviously like sleep paralysis. And my bunny wants attention, clearly. Like sleep paralysis. I literally went to the hospital because I was so scared. Actually, I didn't end up going. I called my friend. I was like, hey, like, this is what's going on. Like, can you pick me up? Can you take me to the hospital? And she came to get me. But before she was able to come to get me, I ended up taking like a little nap and I didn't experience it. So I was like, never mind, like I don't need to go to the hospital. But that was just really one of the like most scary experiences, like while dealing with all this. My bunny is just being funny. My bunny's being funny. Anyway, then so that went on for like when I was 18, 19, like I want to say 20 is when I met this guy that I dated for like a little bit, and I didn't really drink during that period of time. I didn't drink as much in that period of time. I definitely drank, but I didn't drink as much in that period of time. Then when that was over, I literally just dove right back into drinking, and that's when I like kind of started dabbling into taking my prescription meds, like abusing them while I would drink. And that was just even worse. Like literally, and also throughout these years when I was drinking, I was literally just, I would go to parties and I would just start fights with people. And I would, like, I was crazy. Like, I would, like, get into fights with people. Like, I would, get really, really, really violent. To the point where literally people didn't want me at their parties. Like, they literally were just like, no, like, you're not coming in. We don't want issues. We just want to party type thing. How I never got arrested for any of this stuff that I got arrested once, actually. But how it was only once is beyond me. I got arrested a lot while I was under the influence. Like, a lot. And like, there were, like, I think there was this one time when this one time I got arrested while I was under the influence, and my dad literally left me in the holding cell for, I think it was a few days, because he was just fed up with having to come get me. It was a few days. And yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts, but I'm also trying to see what he's doing. Where was I? Okay, so 19. Okay, then yeah, when I ended up with this guy, or when we ended, whatever, I picked up drinking all over again. Oh, there were a lot of times when I would get drunk and I would wake up in the psych ward. I remember this one time, I got really drunk, and this was like after I like wasn't with this guy anymore or whatever. I like got my heart broken or whatever. This is this guy and like this situation is irrelevant. I'm just like adding it. I'm just telling you guys like that's what was going on while I was doing this. But basically, I woke up in the psych ward and literally like my hands were strapped, my legs were strapped, and I guess like I ended up taking a whole bottle of my prescription meds and drinking an entire bottle of vodka, and ended up laying in the streets. I'm so extra for this. Honestly, this is just so extra of me, but I was laying in the streets like trying to get a car to hit me, and I ended up taking out my tongue ring to try to SH myself. And then I got into a fight with one of the nurses when my friend and my dad like went and put me into the psych ward. But yeah, when I woke up, I was literally strapped from head to toe on a psych ward bed, and I was so confused. I didn't really know what had happened, and then when I found out, I was like, what the hell? I would sometimes wake up and like there was a lot of times actually that I would wake up and I didn't know where I was. And yeah, and I was literally like I would always see like memes and stuff online, or like posts online, just like casually joking about alcoholism, like, and I didn't really take life serious then. Like, I literally, like, my point of view was that, like, oh, like, you live, you die, you type shit. Like, oh, I'm here to have fun, here for a good, that, like, line where it's, like, here for a good time, not a long time. I literally took that serious. Like, that was me. I didn't take anything serious. Like, I was like, oh, life is a joke, whatever, whatever. That was my mindset at the time. And I was literally like, when I would go out and drink, and like I would literally almost always black out, like almost always. But like sometimes it would be like in pieces, like little pieces I would black out. There were a lot of things there were a lot of nights that I still don't know what went on. Like, I remember this one time, it was like New Year's Eve, and like my friends had like let me like go off into a car with like a car full of these random men, and like when I sobered up, I was in a parking lot drunk as hell, and like a police officer was giving me a ride home, and then that was it. Yeah, I don't know, I don't even want to know what happened that night at this point. And like when I would black out and stuff, like, you know, like the next morning when your friends tell you like all those stories of what you did, I wouldn't let them do that. I would literally be like, I don't want to hear it. And like if I knew I did something bad, or if I had a feeling I did something bad, I would literally just not answer my phone and just go ghost for like a few days and let shit blow over, and then go back to talking to people, because I just didn't want to hear what I did. There were points where I would literally be drunk and no one would know. Like, I used to take my dad's alcohol. I've taken alcohol from my friends a few times. I used to like take like little bits of alcohol out of people's bottles in the house and just like drink it out of a glass. And I would like be like sitting in the living room drunk, and no one knew that I was drunk. Then like as it like got worse and worse, I definitely just started like everything turned to shit, like my mental health, my health, like everything. I obviously started to gain a lot of weight. There were some nights when I would literally like wake up and I had peed my pants. A lot of times I would wake up in the morning, and like while I was experiencing like my hangover or whatever, like I could literally feel like my liver inflamed. Like it would literally get swollen and everything. Yeah, and I want to say like this really like went on from when I was like 17 to like a few years ago is when I actually like started to get it under control. So that's like, I'm gonna count on my fingers right now, I'm so sorry. Like 10 years. And like looking back at it now, I really and truly just feel like I missed out on an entire 10 years of my life. Like I feel like my 20s just were literally wasted on me being wasted. A lot of it I don't remember, a lot of it I don't want to remember. And like it's unfortunate that that's like what had happened and stuff, but I'm just glad that like now I'm able to like, it really feels like this is like a whole new beginning. Like it really feels like this is when my life is finally starting. And I'm thankful that I was like on one hand, like it's really unfortunate, and like I really feel like I missed out on a lot of things that like I feel like I didn't really live like a normal life like everyone else did. But on the other hand, it's really like I'm glad that I was able to get it like under control before it got like really, really too late. So there's like a bright side to like everything, I guess. yeah. So my drinking was very, very, very bad. I I suck at this. Okay. I remember oh yeah, I used to get into fights with my dad all the time, and he would be like, "Oh, like you're a alcoholic, da da da," and I was like in denial. Um by the way, I look disgusting, and I just brushed my teeth and this happened, so I was about to say something. I feel like I suck at like these sit down videos. Like I just feel like I'm like I should be doing something while I'm talking. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Then when I moved, I wasn't like, first of all, when I moved, I was really mentally ill. Like I wasn't ready to move. I was still an alcoholic. Um and then I had like this whole like new freedom of my own where I could literally be drunk 24/7, and like, you know, I didn't live with anyone, so it doesn't really matter. So I just would literally, I was drinking so much. I actually don't even know how I'm alive. Like I there was a point where I was drinking like 3 entire like big bottles to myself a day. Whenever I ran out, there was after hours service that I would order to get more bottles. And then I would always end up passing out drunk. Like if you've been following me for a while and you've like been on those lives from before where I was like blackout drunk, then you know like the gist of it. Um and yeah, like my mental health got so bad. My anxiety was so bad. The anxiety, like the anxiety you get after drinking, was so bad. My sleep paralysis, everything was terrible. Um I'm trying to think of like everything that went on because I don't want to really miss out on like stuff that happened that was important. I think the like breaking point for me really was like that one night where like I ended up like doing whatever I did to my face, and then woke up, or not woke up, ended up going to the psych ward. Yeah, I went to the psych ward, and then like I went on live, and like I had saved the live, and like I went like and looked back on the live and like everything like that, and I was really just kind of like looking at like, I don't know, it was like I was like looking at it, and I was like this is terrible, like this is really like how I've been feeling, like this is, you know, like this is just not it, like this is terrible. So anyways, I ended up finding a therapist, okay, and I was paying $250 per 50 minutes, and I was going like literally weekly. But the thing is, I never told this therapist that I had a drinking problem, okay? That I never told this therapist that. Basically what we had done is just like we dealt with like my trauma, and like dealing or healing my traumatic experience or whatever, and we did like exposure therapy where I would like literally have to force myself to do things that I was uncomfortable with. And I guess as I was like doing this therapy, like I started to get less anxiety and stuff, and my mental health was getting a little better. But at the same time, I was still dealing with like the alcoholism part of it, because there were a few sessions that I would do like at home, and I remember just I was like completely drunk during it, and she didn't really know, like she didn't catch on, but I was, yeah, it was just really bad. I remember like looking back, Yeah, also, I think it was like, I was looking back at like, you know, like my art, you know, like you have like archives, your like story archives on your freaking Instagram and stuff. I was looking back at those and I seen so many posts where I literally would post and be like, going ghost, guys, I need to stop drinking, I need to get sober, da 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 da, and then post where I was like, oh, 7 days sober, 2 weeks sober, da 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 da, oh my god, I'm sober. And literally like posts like that, like sometimes I would literally have been drinking behind the scenes while I was sober. Um, or I would literally just like jump right back into drinking, and it was really like, but I didn't, like, I didn't really know anything about addiction and stuff, so I didn't know that it would be like, it wouldn't be like linear thing. Like, I didn't know that I would like jump back into drinking continuously before I was able to actually like get a hold of it. So that was like how it was going. Like, it would just be like a complete circle of just me saying getting sober, me saying I'm sober, and then me going back to drinking. And every time I would post, like, you know, there'd be like so many DMs of people saying, so proud of you, oh my god, I'm so proud of you, da 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 da. And then I would just go back to drinking, and then I would see DMs like, oh, like you're never gonna get sober, like, oh my god, like you need to stop, like da 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 da. And it was just so annoying and whatever. But then I ended up getting a second therapist because I don't remember. I just don't think I was really clicking with this one. But I got a second therapist, and she was like literally like the best therapist I've ever had, hands down. I definitely had like a good connection with her. Like, I definitely felt like I could be like 100% like honest and everything about her. And I still didn't tell her about my drinking problem. I don't know why, but I felt like I was ashamed to say it. Like, just, I don't know. Like, I just couldn't bring myself to like admit it. But as we dealt more and more with like past stuff, like I was able to heal myself mentally, and then that's when I was finally able to like start cutting back on drinking. And when I would cut back on drinking, like I there were like certain tweaks that I made that were able to like that I was able to like make it happen. But basically, I would never let alcohol be in my fridge. Like, I would never buy alcohol in bulk anymore and let it sit in my fridge because I knew I was gonna drink it. One thing I will say, and this is probably like the most important thing, you're gonna have to cut a few people off if you want to get sober, or if you want to come to a point where you're not in that position anymore where you're drinking all the time or doing whatever it is that you do all the time. You're gonna have to cut people off. You're gonna have to be alone. Like, you're gonna have to be lonely for a while. Because the fact of the matter is, for alcohol, it's everywhere. Alcohol is everywhere. You know, like when people are done work, like, you know, they're like, oh, let's go out for drinks. I don't have a job, so that doesn't apply to me, but I'm just saying. Like, people are like, oh, like, yeah, let's go for drinks, you know. So a celebration comes up, you know, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, everything, and everyone, people are drinking. Every time a birthday comes up, oh, like, we're gonna get drunk. Like, oh, people want to go to the club, people want to go to a restaurant and get cocktails, whatever. People literally go bowling now and they drink. And I know I did that a few years ago, so I'm like, but still, like, the alcohol is literally everywhere, and that's what makes it so freaking hard. Or that's what made it so freaking hard for me. But I literally had to be alone for a while. Like, I had to start saying no to going places. I had to start to saying no to a lot of people. I literally, you know, if there was someone in my life that I knew drank a lot, I literally couldn't be around them anymore. I had to make a lot of adjustments, like, with the people in my life, basically, and it was a lonely journey, okay? I will say that. Because, and I mean truly lonely, like, literally, like, alone, like, by myself, just me and my little buddy there, every day. That's what it was like. One of the things I did do whenever I would drink, because obviously it wasn't going to be like a bam, not drinking type thing. Like, you know, whenever I would drink, it would be like, more so cocktails instead of sitting there taking shots. When my friend would leave, I would make them either take the alcohol with them or hide it somewhere in my condo so that I didn't know where it was and I couldn't touch it. I had to start, I had to stop hanging out with men because I couldn't be around them without drinking, so I had to stop hanging out with men. Then I finally had to learn how to hang out with men without drinking, and that happened. I had definitely had to like stop doing a lot of toxic shit in general. That had more so to do with mental health, but I feel like mental health and like alcoholism is like, so I'm just gonna mention that. Sorry, I'm still trying to think. Oh, I hate these sit down videos. I suck. Okay, yeah. So I would never have alcohol sitting in my fridge. I would make people like take it or whatever. Actually there were a few times where I would like be drinking with someone and I would, when they left or like when I felt like I drank enough or whatever, I would just dump it. So yeah, and then as like therapy went on or whatever, I was able to cut back more and more. I got to the point where I was able to go out to restaurants and not order a drink. And you know what? I was so bad to the point where I knew the alcohol limit on so many restaurants. And once I reached that alcohol limit, like, like they can only serve so much alcohol. I knew the exact amount of shots you were allowed to have before they cut you off. And then I would go to a different restaurant and start drinking there. So it was just really bad. But yeah, another thing is, if you have depression and anxiety, drinking is just not it. Like, and like my dad like was always telling me, like when I first like started out this, like he was always saying like, don't drink when you're depressed. Alcohol is a depressant, it's gonna make it worse. And I would be like, oh, like in one ear out the other type shit. Also, oh yeah, and I remember like no one ever really, I don't know how to explain it. Like the people that I was surrounding myself with before, they would like the fact that I drink and they would like encourage it and stuff just because I would like act out and like be their source of entertainment. I didn't really have any real friends, to be honest, like in those early years. Like people only brought me around because I made stuff lit for them because I would get so drunk. But I did have a friend and she like, I have like the message still from her, but I can't read it right now because it's on my phone. I'm filming on my phone, but basically she reached out and she was telling me like, oh, like your drinking problem has become something that was like drinking has become something that has gone from something that was fun to like a literal problem. Like you're wasting like the best years of your life. Like you have so much charisma and potential, da 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 da, and I hate to see you like this. All your friends that hang around you because you're fun to get turned with are little pieces of poo, da 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 da. And yeah, it was just a long ass message, and like just looking back at it now, like I really wish like I could have really taken in what she was saying, but such is life. But yeah, so anyways, so I was able to like cut back, and I just kept cutting back more and more. And I'm gonna go back to what I said in the beginning. I'm gonna say that I'm not sober, okay? Don't get it twisted. I am not sober. I am just at the point where I just literally don't crave alcohol. I don't randomly get drunk. I don't like, I don't go out of my way to go to LCBO and get bottles. for like no reason. When I do drink, I know my limit. And I don't let myself get to like that drunk point. Like honestly, like this year, I can probably count on one hand how many times I drank. Maybe like 1.5 hand. I don't know, but no, like literally like, and I've gone like, 4 months even without drinking, like, a long time without drinking. I'm able to have alcohol around and I won't touch it. I've literally had multiple times where like I've had alcohol, like bottles of alcohol that I just ended up throwing out because I just didn't want to drink it, or like, like, and like thinking about it like now, like, I've come to a point where it's like there's no point in getting drunk. Like, what does alcohol doesn't benefit you in any way? Like, it really fucking doesn't. Like, what does drinking do? Like, what does it do? Like, you act out of character, like, things get messy, like, it's fun for, like, but, like, the hangover is really not worth it, and, like, the hangovers that I get at my age now last, like, 3 days. Like, literally, like, if I were to go and get drunk tonight and, like, drink, like, let's say, like, 9-10 shots, you wouldn't see me for 3 days after, because I'll be in bed and I'll be sick and I'll be just feeling disgusting. And it takes my body like a while to snap back. So I don't really do it. And I know like some people are gonna be like, oh, like, yeah, but you should get sober, da 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 da. And I don't think that would be a problem for me. It's just it's not a necessity for me. Like, I was able to get to a point where I'm like, I don't really care for it. I don't really do it. But yeah. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I took up vaping for a bit because when I would go to the club or when I would hang around people, like people always have a drink in their hand, and like I would vape instead because they would have something in my hand. It was something to do, like, and that's how I was able to cut back a lot on drinking too when I would go out. Because I don't want to be drunk in public. I don't want to be drunk in general, but I definitely don't want to be drunk in public because you just do stupid things. And so I started to vape. That's why you guys saw me vaping. That's why, like, the vaping became a thing or whatever. It's not a thing anymore because, yeah, it was just getting me sick. But I would bring a vape to the club and I would just vape. People would be taking shots and stuff. I'd, like, have a vape in my hand, just, like, keep vaping anytime I felt like I needed alcohol. And I know that's not, like, a good idea because it's just really, like, getting rid of one bad thing and adding another. But it did actually work for me for a bit, so I'm not gonna, like, shit on it a lot. But that's what I was doing with the vaping. I don't vape anymore, but I literally just said that. Oh my god, I'm so awkward. Why do I feel like I'm in a job interview and I'm nervous for that? This is disgusting. Why did this happen? But yeah, so that was how my drinking has been. Also, definitely since cutting back on drinking, there's been a like huge difference in like my weight and my face weight. A lot of it does have to do with like healthy changes I've made and like working out and stuff, but a lot of it really has to do with the cutting back on the alcohol. Alcohol really just adds those pounds, especially like, when you're getting drunk and you're ordering food and stuff, like getting, and I got the munchies when I was drunk, and yeah. But mainly, I'm just gonna say the most important thing, the number one thing I feel is literally you have to cut people off. I don't care if it's your freaking dad, like your freaking brother, your sister, whatever. Like, if they're drinking, if they like to drink and they're always asking you to drink, you have to take part from them. Like, you have to, you know. But yeah, so it's literally been like about 2.5 years, I want to say. Maybe just, yeah, 2.5 years or 2 years now since I've had my shit under control. So I'd say it's going pretty steady. Also, my birthday is in 16 days. If anyone cared. I'm turning 21. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm so sorry. That was so awkward. But yeah, I'm gonna be posting more this month because obviously I'm gonna be doing stuff for my birthday and stuff. I got a lot of new, I got like a little bit of new makeup, and I got like some stuff on Fashion Nova and stuff. So I'm gonna be showing you guys like a little haul because I've been waiting for my package from Fashion Nova all freaking day today, and it has not come. But yeah, I'm gonna show all my stuff, and I'm gonna show you guys my birthday fit, and I'm gonna show you guys my birthday hair. Also a little message for people. I'm definitely one of these people, so I definitely can relate. If you're like someone who has a hard time with the holidays and you freaking hate the holidays because it just brings back bad memories and you just feel really lonely and you don't really have anybody, I don't remember what I'm gonna say. Oh, you're not alone, and you know, just know that I am thinking about you guys if you're lonely, and that I love you if you're lonely, and if the holidays are hard time, you'll get through it, and we will get through it together. Oh my god. But yeah, I love y'all. Oh, my buddy's laying behind me, it's so cute. But yeah, can we just like talk about the fact that I literally look like freaking Lord Farquaad with this hair? And tell me how I called my best friend and I showed her that I cut like all this hair off. Why did she say, oh, I showed her all the hair that she said, she's like, oh, but it really suits you. She's like, oh, but at least you look pretty. Do you want to know why I cut my hair, guys? Okay, so I started dabbling into this girl named Mary. Because, you know, I kind of want to get back into it, and like I feel like, you know, it can make me chiller in some aspects. So I did that, and I've been like, you know, doing a little bit of it. And the other night I decided to do some of it, and freaking I was just bored, and I thought it would be fun to cut my hair off with the freaking nail cutters. I just wanted to see how it worked, and then it was working, and then it was feeling satisfying, and then I was like, oh wait, let me try my bunny freaking nail clippers, and then I come here with that. And then when I was done, I had so much hair cut off, and like, yeah, so I blame Mary. But I really, okay, if for if any of you guys wear hair extensions, like the clip-ins, like how is it? Like is it really hard? Like, I don't know, I just feel like having to clip in hair and like having like the possibility of it falling out, it just gives me anxiety. But I really kind of want to take a long break from taping so that I'm able to like, you know, heal my hair, and like I want to start doing like rosemary oil treatments on my hair because like you guys know that I'm like bald on top of my head. So how is it? Like, do you guys think I could do it or what? But yeah, thank you for coming to my channel and watching my video, my very awkward video, because I'm in a very awkward mood, I guess. Maybe it's just an uncomfortable like topic for me or something. I don't know. It was just it was so uncomfortable. But yeah, also, I'm manifesting that I'm gonna be moved out by March. I'm like, it's so funny thinking about it because I literally, before I came here, I told my dad, like, oh, I'm gonna be here for like 2 months tops. It's literally been over a year now. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'm out by March. Well, it would be ideal for me to be out by January, but I feel like that's unrealistic thinking because I want to save like 15K before I move out. So, yeah. Anyways, bye guys. Love you. And yeah, it's really gross. Bye.